If you're an audio fanatic like me, or just thinking about how to upgrade how you're listening to music or podcasts, you have to know about Victrola. They have been bringing innovation and style together since 1906. I'm going to tell you about one of their products that I got called the Journey Plus. It's a great sounding Bluetooth speaker and record player that's affordable and can link to my other Bluetooth speakers. It sounds so good and now sits on top of my old record player. They have over 30 different color options, so it fits in any room of the house. And of course, I got mine wrapped in denim. If you've ever seen us perform live, you know about my obsession with wrapping guitars and other stuff in denim. But they already did it for me. Right now, to show off their online record store, they're having special savings like free shipping on orders over $35 or more, as well as a great deal of 15% off if you buy 3 records from their record store. I got the new Run the Jewels record. I got a Stone Temple Pilots Holland import. They have tons of stuff on there, so make sure to check it out. So go to makingnoisepod.com/Victrola for your savings. That is makingnoisepod.com/VICTROLA for your special offers today.
3, 5.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Making Noise. My name is Todd Johnson, and with me, as always, the backbone on the saxophone, Mr. Jay Connor.
What's up, y'all?
How y'all doing? How are you doing, man? You good?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm tired.
Tired?
It's been a long week. Well, like shows are picking back up.
Shows are picking back up. You're actually playing now. Wow.
Yes.
Pretty amazing.
But they're weird. Like I played a show today. I was outside in the cold.
Okay.
Which is fine, but playing to people in pods.
In pods?
In like plastic.
Like you were playing to pod people?
I was playing to pod people.
Okay.
And it was just weird, and you can just like, and you know, you play a song and then you just kind of hear in their pod.
Inside of their pod.
Yeah, and you're like, I can't wait for this to be over. I'm glad that it's happening, and it's a way to stay safe, and I'm glad that everyone's staying safe. I wouldn't want to do events if it wasn't safe, you know, but
so are they sanitizing the pods in between each person?
Yes.
Like do they spray a mist in there and it just hits all the pod?
Pod mist.
Pod mist.
New band name, called it Pod Mist.
Pod mist.
Dude, we got you a new fancy microphone.
Got me a fancy microphone.
Because for all the audio nerds, that is the mic that you would find
sexy
in a actual radio station, which is what you need for your late night DJ show.
Late night DJ show voice.
He does this every show when we're checking the mics. Late night DJ show voice.
This is the only way to really get in there. Okay. You know what I mean?
I'm very excited about today's episode.
Very excited. I'm excited about it.
So, unfortunately, Jay was not able to be a part of this interview.
Here. I know.
Because they had to, I think we had to talk to them. I had to talk to them very early in the morning because they were
a weird time
opening the restaurant, which was also early for me to get up, which is not fun. But it was an absolutely great conversation with Rich and Tallulah, two of the owners of Oh My Soul.
Oh My Soul.
In NoDa. They were voted the best burger in Charlotte by Queen City
How's that
Life.
work? Because they don't have meat.
That's the thing. This is a completely vegan restaurant.
Completely vegan restaurant got voted best burger.
And they won best burger. Dude, okay. Have you had it?
I've had food from there that was delicious.
Right.
I have not had the burger.
Okay. The burger, because the burger it's really good.
Okay.
I get why it was won. Like, I've talked to a few people who was like, you can't win best burger in Charlotte if it's not a burger. I'm like, no.
That person was me. That's the person you talked to. It was me.
No, there's been okay. We need to go get it. Wait, actually, hold on. We've got time.
We got time. We can go now.
We got time.
We can do a Pepsi challenge.
We should go do a Pepsi challenge after we do the episode.
All right.
All right, but here is, please make sure to check it out. It was so fun talking to these guys. This is my conversation with Rich and Tallulah from Oh My Soul.
Awesome.
Anytime I talk to anybody the past year has been, they've been like, I've seen you've been real busy. You've been at that Oh My Soul place. Like, yeah, I have been.
Oh My Soul, it's a good time. all the time.
You guys.
It always is. It's always a blast. It's always a blast
indeed.
there.
We love having you there too.
Oh man, I appreciate it. Well, I know I told you guys that. I know I've said something along the lines of this before, but like kind of in June, July last year when I started playing there or whatever, it was massive for me to get a show at all. So I really appreciate you guys for having me, and thanks for having me, because it was a wasteland. There was nothing. There was nowhere that was doing outside social distance events.
Yeah.
And you guys were just starting back. So it was massive for me. So I appreciate
you're
it.
part of the family now, man.
Yeah,
you're like one of our best friends.
Oh, man.
It's like when we arrived here, we didn't have any friends, so we're like, well, let's just get some musicians out to own my soul and try and make some friends.
That's what it was. That's what it was. That's why Richard kept being like, no, you don't got to break down yet. Here, do you want a shot? No, I appreciate it. I think it's great. And fortunately, thank God the food's good too, because that makes it even better. I don't have to be like, yeah, your place is good.
Yeah.
The vibe is good. What else is good? The vibe is good.
The drinks are
The drinks
good.
are fantastic. I've had to watch it. I've had to watch it a few times. There will be time. You guys are excellent salespeople. Like you really, I mean, behind the bar for your food, it's excellent, you always back it up because it's good stuff. But it's like there's been a time or two behind the bar where you'd be like, "Have you tried this new whiskey we've had yet?" I'm like, "I don't drink whiskey when I'm playing." I'm like, "Oh, just try it."
Yeah, there we go.
And then I'm like, "Oh, I've had 2 of these."
And then you start to sing a lot better too.
I think I start to sing a lot better. That's the problem. I always try to tell people y'all should drink more.
There we
We
go.
were watching the videos. When was it? Last weekend. After Todd's show.
Yeah.
Jake took a few videos, and then obviously when we go home, we like wide awake still, because
Right.
and it was like midnight, and then we're watching all the videos that he took of you playing. It was good. It was a good laugh.
Yeah, it's fun, man. That guy's.
Yeah, Jake was like, he's actually really good.
Oh shucks.
And I was like,
appreciate that.
you only realized that after a year?
You guys are so busy running around. Yeah. You guys are so busy making sure that everyone's taken care of. So let me ask this. The great thing about that I've figured out too with doing this podcast and everything is like we get to hang out.
Sure.
And it's great to see you guys and talk to you guys, but I never get to I feel like I get to learn more about people that I never really get to. Like I kind of know your guys' story, but you know, I don't know too much of any. I know that you're from South Africa. I know that you cook fantastic vegan food, and that you're really nice, and that's about it. Now, granted, that's all that really matters. But
Well, that's all you need to know.
that's it. We're not going to interview over.
That sums it up.
How long have y'all been stateside?
How long has it been now?
I've been permanently just probably almost a year and a half now.
Okay.
Permanent, yeah. Because before that, it was back and forth a lot. When we're trying to find a location for Oh My Soul and kind of making it was a massive decision of opening Oh My Soul in the USA. And so I think when we finally found the location, we flew back and I was over here within 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, it happened really fast.
Wow. So how long? Okay, so where exactly? What is the area of South Africa?
So we are from Durban, KwaZulu-Natal.
Okay.
So it's all the way at the bottom. We are from almost like off a coastline. Right next to the beach. Really, really beautiful. I'm initially from Durban. Richard's from Johannesburg.
Okay.
So he's a Josie, but he became a Durbanite after he met me.
They say once you spend more than 7 years in Durban, you become a Durbanite.
A Durbanite.
Okay.
So I was officially a Joe Burger, and as you know, we made up a drink called the Joe Burger.
A Joe
right?
Burger.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's the one.
You know that one,
That's the
Todd.
one where I was like, I'm gonna call a friend to help me load up
There we go.
and get right home.
Yeah, so Durban's kind of like on the east coast of Africa. You know,
Okay.
around the coast, beautiful, kind of a mix of Florida and LA. Nice palm trees.
Wow.
Indian Ocean. Beautiful.
Very humid.
Yeah,
like
very humid,
the humidity
very
that we get in
tropical.
Charlotte.
Okay.
Yeah, so very humid. It never really gets cold there, so we don't know what winter is. Because remember, back home, we don't have any seasons, so this is so new to us. Like,
Well,
you know.
Well, welcome to North Carolina. We have all 4 seasons at
Yeah,
once.
we've realized that.
Exactly.
It's kind of like, why is it July and snowing or or cold whole, it's always Southern. But why Charlotte then?
Well, it's a bit of a long one, but to sum it up, so we opened up the first vegan restaurant in KwaZulu-Natal. So it was a huge thing.
Right.
And then obviously Jake, my brother, who's a part owner of Oh My Soul with us, he's lived in Charlotte and he absolutely loves it. And that's where he started his, obviously, dancing career. So we used to visit all the time because, obviously, we miss family and a lot of our family's abroad. So we all split up. So we visited numerous times and we kind of got to know Charlotte in our own way. And, as you know, Jake, he takes you around to every place, every bureau, every mountain. And, he really makes sure that you get the Charlotte experience. So we kind of wanted to be by family. So I think that was a big pull for us. And then secondly, I think kind of in Charlotte, we feel like so many people in Charlotte aren't really even from Charlotte. It's such a mixture. So it almost feels like, I don't know, in other places we'd feel like a real foreigner, but here it's more welcoming, to be honest. Right. That's just how it feels. So, when we came across Noda specifically, we had a really good friend who was amazing in commercial real estate. And he was just like, guys, you have got to, open up in Noda. They need a vegan restaurant. And, we didn't know Noda, to be honest. We were looking all over, Plaza, etc. And, that's when we kind of realized how hard it is to find a spot. But I mean, we've been all over. We've been to Arizona. We've been to LA. We've been many places in the States. We've traveled extensively. But
believe it or not, my dad's actually been living in the States for 28 years.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
I met him. Was he from? He's living in Arizona?
No, Destin.
Oh, in Destin.
Yeah,
Okay.
Rory,
so
he's in Arizona, our cousin. So
right. Okay.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of family all over. Yeah. I think obviously Jake being my brother and. Kind of also support system for us to just have that family, close to us, because obviously it's huge life-changing decisions and there's many days where you question yourself. So I think just having, kind of that family as stability, it really helped. But yeah, we came across Noda and we fell in love with it. It's just so eclectic and what we used to is like community driven and that's pretty much how it is back home. And it's artsy, it's crafty. I love very like boheme type, that's my vibe. So I think we're the type of people that it just works off an energy. I think when we saw that, it used to be called the Little Red House. Yes. I mean, as it didn't look very good. It'd been standing for a year, but it's kind of like when you saw it kind of, I just felt this is it. This is the one, I didn't know how, I didn't know why, or even if it was going to happen. But I just knew, this is it type thing. And that's what we went with, pretty much a gut feeling.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And y'all definitely made it your own.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, once you see what you guys have done with it, you go, why hasn't someone done something with this location right here? Because, I mean, you guys are prime in the heart of Noda. It's so easy and accessible to get to where you guys are. I mean, and as you know, Noda is not really known for its parking or easy getting around.
It's like you get a workout before you get to the restaurants, right? You got to walk like a couple of miles. But
that's why you get the extra fries.
But that's all part of the experience, and that's what we love about Noda. Is people just parking, spending 3, 4, 5, 6 hours and just hopping around to different restaurants and I think Oh My Soul is an experience, as a place where you come hang out for not just get a meal and leave. A lot of people come there, hang out, listen to the live music, get a cocktail, really enjoy and take everything in, and that's what we wanted to portray. We wanted to portray just, the real South African, experience, what would be like if you had to come to Oh My Soul in South Africa,
Yeah.
Right. That's kind of what we're trying to achieve.
That's how it is in South Africa. I mean, you yourself, Todd, if you came to a bar in South Africa or whatever, and you just walked in there on your own and just by your accent, immediately people would be drawn to you and they would make you feel welcome and homey. It's South Africa. It's a very humbling experience. I think the culture and how we brought up. We're very kind people, and I say that not in an egotistical way, but in a way of true. You would never feel like a foreigner. You would never feel out of place. Right. They would go out of their way. Mm-hmm. To make you feel at home. I mean, they would even invite you to their house afwards. It's just like, it's how it is.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? And they wouldn't take no for an answer. It would be like, we insist, or let us take you there. Or,
I've never met a South African that doesn't instantly become a friend. And I don't think it's me. You know, because it's, I have a few different friends just from like playing around in town or kind of on the road. Like I remember once just at a set break, like at a corporate event, someone who was working in corporate, they went out to some corporate event and I was playing there at it, and she just kind of goes, "So what's your deal, Todd Johnson?" And just starts talking and asks me a question or whatever.
Yeah, there we go.
And it was like, it was such a welcoming experience. But I will say that is super true as far as what you guys do there, because I know it's not just me. I feel special to be there, but I know it's just not me. I know that y'all do that with everybody that comes in, and it's a little bit of a breath of fresh air, especially this year. It's just to kind of have to get to be able to go out is such an experience, and you guys add to that tenfold because you really show people that you care and that you're happy that they're there and want to talk to them, provide that experience, and it's just it's always never had a bad time there.
Well, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
I really haven't.
Yeah.
But so the other restaurant in what was it called again?
In Durban.
In Durban. Okay, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna figure it out.
We'll take you there one day.
Yeah, let's do
We'll
it.
name one of our drinks Durban,
We'll
and
set up
you'll know it so well.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
We'll set up a couple of gigs on the beach.
Oh, I'm done. I'm there. I'm so there. At the beginning of 2020, I was like, I'm quitting my job. I'm gonna go on the road this year. And then March happened. I was like, well, I guess that's not gonna. Yeah. So yeah, I'm itching. I'm ready to get on a plane. I'm ready to get in the car.
Let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. But so, how long was that location there?
So
it's still there. It's still.
Oh yeah,
how long
it's
is
still
that?
there. So
Okay.
that's that will always be the first Omar Soul. I think the crazy thing about that is we get so many questions of people like, oh, how long have you been in the restaurant industry, or and to be honest, Rich and I never ever thought in our wildest dreams. I mean, we own hair clinics. That's what we know, and we never ever thought that we would open up restaurants. But when we went vegan, South Africa is a meat culture country. That's just how it is. From really young, you condition to that is what you eat, So obviously, when we turned vegan, you couldn't even go on a date night, let alone a lunch and get a vegan meal. So, we cooked every night and that kind of thing. And then I said to Richard, what are other vegans surviving on? So when we looked into it, it happened really, really fast. But we got a spot and we opened it up, and within 2 months of opening Omar Soul, we went through something horrific. We went to court with the biggest chicken company in Africa.
Okay.
So basically, it was horrific because, like I said, we hadn't even been open 2 months, and it was a giant corporate bully that was pretty much attacking us for using the word soul. Saying that they sold obviously soul food. So it sounds crazy because we vegan, but it was.
I just love the irony that like a corporate shill went to court with you over the word soul.
Yeah. I mean,
we own the word soul.
It was in every
We own your soul.
newspaper. It was on all the
gosh.
radio stations. It was like a David and Goliath battle.
Right.
It was
It was
huge.
like, let's open up Omar Soul, and 2 months later it was like, okay.
Yeah, we
Really?
go.
And they're
I mean,
gonna close you down for being
Yeah.
for the,
So just kind of just put it in a nutshell. It was the company said that they had trademarked the word soul, and that nobody in the restaurant industry could use that word. Whether it's on their marketing material, their menu, their name. And when I actually got an email. We actually got back from a trip. It was actually back from a trip from the US actually, and we got off the plane. I got this email, and I was like, is somebody playing a prank on me?
Yeah, we thought they were taking the mickey because we're vegan, so we get it a lot. We're used to it. But then we started Googling the name, and we were like,
who is this?
whoa.
Because
Wow.
obviously, they kind of, their name and their
They've got a huge history,
their name and their company is kind of two different, sections.
Right.
So when we Googled, we're like, okay, well, hold on a sec. We're dealing with one of the biggest. I think it's the second biggest fast food franchise in Africa after McDonald's.
Yeah.
We're talking about a multi-billion rand company. Anyway.
And their initial recipes from the USA, that's where they got it from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Long
Right. story
story short, what happened was, obviously, we had to decide whether we were going to change the name, from Omar Soul to a completely different name, or whether we were going to be like, this doesn't make sense.
But Oh My Soul is a very cultural thing that is set in South Africa. Because I remember the first time I played made a post about what you guys. I had a South African friend send me a message said, "Are they South African?" That's something that we used to say back home all the time.
Yeah,
so
Oma Soul.
Yeah, sorry.
A lot of people get mixed up with they think that Oma Soul we are referring to soul food, and it's not. It's completely. It's we acknowledging a soul of a being. That's what we talk like. My soul honors your soul. That's what Oma Soul means basically. So that's where it got mixed up. Especially in this court case. And as Rich would tell you, I mean, we went to Supreme Court. I mean, and we are talking about.
I mean, this went to constitutional court.
And
Never
then
mind
they tried to
Supreme
take
Court.
to constitutional. So.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, we had to sit down and make a decision. Okay, wow, we've just started this journey.
Around what year was this? Because you said 2 months into.
Yeah, this is 2 years ago.
So this was in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beginning of 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, so long story short, we decided, we got a little bit of advice from, RP attorney, intellectual property attorney, and they just said to us, listen guys, there's a good chance that you're going to overcome this hurdle, but unfortunately it's going to take time and it's going to cost you a bit of money.
Right.
And these people don't have a budget. I mean, let's be real.
Right.
Deep
They'll throw
pockets
money
there.
at this until it's dead.
They'll keep you in court just to wait you out.
100%. Yeah. And we just thought that we open up this little restaurant, and we're so passionate about veganism, and we wanted people to experience what we experienced when we turned vegan, and we just had this gut feeling that this was the right thing to do, and we decided to pursue it and to defend it. To put everything in a nutshell, basically what happened, went to High Court a couple of times, it went to Supreme Court, Constitutional Court, and we actually landed up winning all 6 times with costs.
Wow.
So it was
the first time in history that this Goliath company had been beaten by our small little restaurant, vegan restaurant.
So it was it was really
huge.
something special for us. We had the backing of obviously the community in Durban, and everybody's rooting for us, and it turned out to be more of a positive thing than a negative thing in the long run. Even though it was very stressful and a lot of anxiety and
money. Let's be real. I mean, it felt like you were throwing money down a hole, but basically, and it was like we could be doing other things, but that created a legacy for Oma Soul back home, because everybody knew about it and what was going on, and the way that the community supported us and came out and supported the restaurant because they knew what it entailed. But I think that's where the birth of Oma Soul came. I mean, a lot of people think that it's just a restaurant, vegan. It's not. It's something that Richard and I decided in our lives to pretty much live more of a purpose-driven life.
Right.
And the dream of Oma Soul is to link it to sanctuaries. That's what we're going to do. So, and give back to animal sanctuaries and help as many as possible, and just kind of create a wave of kindness throughout the USA and go as broad as we can. But it's literally, like I said, purpose-driven. So it's not necessarily living a life of luxury. Is just living a life of purpose and kind of getting fulfillment out of that, because let's be real, we can do amazing things, but at the end of the day, people can still feel lonely and sad and all these things, and we just feel like making this difference is kind of pretty much what we were born to do. So, I mean, how it played out was crazy. I mean, never in our wildest dreams did we think that was going to happen to us. And so many people were like, guys, you're crazy. You don't know who you're going up against. Like, you don't understand.
Well, it's fantastic, too, that it was a chicken company. Like, even bet, like there's
bring it on. Yeah. We were so ready.
There's no way, like, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm taking this personal now.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's...
So we started with a bang, Todd.
It really started with a bang.
It did indeed. Yeah.
Man, talk about any publicity is good publicity, right? I mean, that's one of those things too.
100%.
I mean, you look back now and you think, wow, but going through it that's another story.
Sure
you question everything, but
yeah. Well, when did so you guys decided to be vegan? Was cooking always a thing for you, or?
I think,
or did it kind of start once you became vegan?
Tallulah is fantastic at cooking. I mean, she's always been. She's always. I mean, why do you think I married her?
I was about to say that's how I like. That's how she liked it down.
There we go. And she does fantastic research. She just knows what flavors to put in there. Like when just to tell you the story about me going vegan. I'll be honest with you. I would probably, if you told me I'd be vegan, 5 years ago,
right.
I would have laughed at you. I mean, there was no chance. I was the biggest meat eater around. I'd have meat breakfast, lunch, dinner. And Tallulah was a vegetarian for a very long time, and she was like, I've really been researching, and I really got to go vegan. And why don't you consider going vegan with me?
But that's when Facebook video started. I was actually trying to think about it. I don't know when Facebook video. You know when you started watching Facebook and then videos would pop up on your.
Up. Yeah.
And that's when the visuals started to come in, and then that's when it really started affecting me, and I started to chat.
And I was like,
Yeah.
what do you mean vegan? I was like, what are you gonna eat? You know what I mean? Are you crazy?
Have you seen the vegan section at the store?
100%.
The store is massive, and you get one cooler.
I was like, this is crazy.
We didn't even get a cooler, Todd. That if we had a cooler, we'd at least have something. We had nothing.
and then obviously a couple of weeks went by, a couple of months went by, and then she was like, okay, I'm gonna do this vegan thing. She's like, so I was like, okay, you know what? As my wife, I'm going to support you. I'm going to do this with you for 3 months. All right, I'm going to do this whole vegan thing because obviously she was like, we can make this, we can make that. I can do this, and I'll cook for you. And I was like, well, sounds pretty good. I'm going to get cooked for, and okay, it's vegan, but I'll try it.
I'll deal with it. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So I woke up one morning and I said, okay, this is it. Okay, I'm going to go vegan with you. And so from that day we started, the whole vegan diet, and let me tell you, man, I was like, after a week or 2 weeks, I started to feel a lot better, and I was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, I was sleeping better. I was
skin,
my skin cleared up. I was like, hey, is this like, what is she putting in this food?
Right.
And then I just became more conscious of what was going on around me, and specifically with animals, because I've always been an animal lover. We think about it, most of us are animal lovers. We love dogs, we love parrots, and we kind of like, okay, well, what's the difference here? You know what I mean?
But then you turn a blind eye a little bit.
100%. And I started to realize, okay, this is actually wrong. You know what I mean? And then 3 months went by, and it kind of became part of our lifestyle, and then it was 6 months, and then we're like, okay, hold on a second, man. If I'm feeling this good, and this is in a way, really changed my life. How can we tell people about this without standing on the side of the road and showing them how animals are slaughtered, or standing with big signs? We've got to try and plant the seed, through their stomachs, and that's when Tallulah came up with the idea of the vegan coffee shop that turned into the vegan 50 menu item restaurant.
Right. We used to chat. I used to make a lot of food, or whenever the family came over, I would cook, and I'd say to my mom, oh, we'll just do a few cakes and some coffee, and we look again now, we're like, geez.
So she was like, she's like, yeah, we're going to open up this little coffee shop, and, we're just going to do like, vegan baking goods, like a few brownies, maybe some cupcakes and some coffee. It's going to be very simple, very easy, and, and we'll kind of just like put signs all around the coffee.
See, you said we good salespeople.
And I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, that's doable, because, we're running a full-time business, 3 businesses behind the scenes, you know what I mean? So I was like,
because you guys were also doing the hair clinics.
Yeah,
that's right.
And we were traveling between them. Yeah,
100%. So anyway, so as we got closer and closer to opening up this restaurant, the brownies turned into breakfast, and the breakfast turned into lunch, and the lunch turned into fresh juices, and then next minute we had smoothies and shakes, and then we had the dairy scary menu, and then we had the pastry case, and then before we knew it, we had a full on kind of restaurant cafe. The restaurant in South Africa isn't as big as the one in Charlotte, in Noda, but it seats a good 60 people comfortably. Yeah, and so that's kind of how I turned vegan, and how kind of veganism in a way changed my life. But
it does. When we say it changes your life, you also, that's all the positive things. But we very real, honest people, and I think also, when you tell your family you're going vegan or whatever, it's a big thing. I mean, you don't always get invited to all those celebrations and stuff, and it's a real problem in the vegan society, because people feel like, oh gosh, what I'm going to make for them, but that's how it was a little bit. I mean, obviously my family, my parents are vegan, but they weren't vegan initially. And obviously by us cooking for them, etc., also health-wise for them, they started becoming vegan. Yeah. So, it would get hard, because the usual friends that, would go and have drinks with, and like it kind of all changed. It's a crazy thing, and you kind of can't control it. You can't control how people are going to judge you for it, or, and, if they asked us about it, we would speak about it, but it was never in their face, It definitely changes dynamics and families and friends, and it really does.
What is the thing that you can't stand to get asked the most about being vegan? Like the biggest dumb question. I would think it'd be like, do you get enough protein? I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
obviously, I'm here,
That's
aren't I?
massive.
Is that
where do you
the
get your
number one?
protein from? That I think Jake, kills his soul.
Oh, what do you eat?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Look at our menu.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this is a big one for me, Todd. We laugh about it so often, but at Omasol, we really try and do an extensive coffee menu, and we don't charge for plant milks because wherever you go, you end up paying like an extra $2 just to get oat milk in your coffee. It sounds crazy, but then you'll say, okay, what milk would you like? We've got every plant milk, like 7 you can imagine, and they'll say, just have some regular or whole milk. And you're like, what don't you get?
No, you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Just give one thing.
Well, I didn't know you could play 6 guitars at the same time.
7 if I'm drinking. Yeah,
that's really cool.
Well, that's what I love about guitars. I get why people, I get why collectors collect and stuff. Because to me, each one does something different.
Yeah.
It's always I could play this one or do different stuff, and it also works out well for producing and stuff when people can come in and I can bring my guitars in the studio and set them up, and
awesome.
it kind of gives somebody a little bit of a different flavor if they want to do that, or kind of have this kind of sound that does this sort of thing, and those are the things that I just nerd out on them. Like I'll nerd out on them.
I've always wanted to play guitar. Like one of my birthdays, I think you bought me a guitar, right?
How did you forget that?
Yeah. And then I started playing, like I was like YouTubing, and I was like,
what was the
learning.
first one? Born in the USA.
Oh yeah, Born in the USA, and I was like,
they teach you on YouTube to play Born in the
I
USA.
can play this, but I can't sing it at the same time. I was like, I don't know how these guys do it.
Multitasking was the difficult.
And I was like, I can't wait to like play and sing, and I can go like serenade Tallulah, one night, and, and I was like, and it just never happened.
The dog started to disappear. It was like, I don't know.
With Born in the USA.
Yeah.
Hey girl, I've got this song for you. I woke up in man's town.
And we had 2 ring-necked parrots, and they were like screaming too. I was like, oh gosh.
I'll get the parrots to sing.
Yeah,
So
there we
get the
go.
parrots to sing. If you can,
Anyway, so I might take you up on that offer. I need a couple of lessons on the strings.
We'll do. Yeah. We all call it in the biz lessons on the strings. That's what we call it.
Lessons on the
strings.
That's a good one.
I'm gonna come and see. Austin McNeil's playing tomorrow at your guys' place, right?
Tomorrow night.
He is
Tomorrow
indeed,
night.
yeah.
I'm gonna
He's I'm actually
He's
impressed.
great.
He's great, yeah.
I really like him.
Yeah.
He's really good. His band's really good too.
What's it, 7 Day Haze?
7 Day Haze. Yeah, they're really good. I dig them because I dig like 70s 3-piece kind of like hard rock bands, like around like that era of like hard rock, little Zeppelin, Sabbath kind of thing. Yeah. And they do a really good job. They do a really good job with that thing, and while still being
100%.
their own.
Yeah.
He's a great songwriter. So
100%.
Yeah. Since I have a Saturday night off and I don't know what to do with myself if I'm not playing, I usually go to a show.
Yeah.
So,
or you usually come to Own My Soul.
Yeah.
One of the two.
One of the two. I always think it's great how every time I leave, you're like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow.
We say it to everybody. We're like, okay, you coming back tomorrow? Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
Come back tomorrow? Yeah. Well, it's the salesman, man. It's the salesman. I'm glad you guys don't sell cars because I suddenly would have more. So with the food and the menu that's always ever expanding.
Yeah.
Like, how is the experimental? I have a feeling that when you guys go home, you walk around a corner and she is, because all of the recipes and stuff, the whole menu you created yourself.
It's all
right?
authentic, yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't realize, from our burger patties to vegan chicken, we make it from scratch.
Right.
Like from scratch, and a lot of people think, like, refer to as just like, as if you just getting the stuff in from frozen, in bulk. Oh no,
right.
We make everything from scratch.
There's a lot of preparation that
It's
goes
like
into
the amount
food,
of prep that little kitchen does. Oh my goodness.
I'm sure it has
incredible.
to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you guys have already, you've been open this year and you've already had like a complete menu changeover as well.
Yeah, I think with veganism, there's so much changing all the time, and like amazing new things coming on the market. And we're the type of people, like, you gotta keep it updated, keep it fresh, keep people excited, and kind of,
Right.
Keep on going to the next level with veganism because it's forever evolving. So that's what we try and do. What we love here, like I mentioned before, is seasons. Like we don't get that opportunity back home, you know. So we're like, let's do the season thing, you know. So we do a few seasonal things too. But I think with Omasol, our biggest thing is that we just try and kind of stay real and true to who we are with the South African flavors, because that's pretty much what makes us. That's all we know.
Right.
So in our dishes, you'll see on our menu, we've got like the little flag items, and that's honestly something. If you came, you know, back home with us, you would have that, you know. So we
Right.
try and give you that experience. I always say to somebody, if it's their first time, I'll say like, you know, go for one of those items. That's like a real Omasol experience. You're not going to get it anywhere else, and it's a flavor of Africa because it really is. It's what we taught from really
Right.
young, you know. My cooking, and I get it from my gran, Jake too. I mean, my brother's a chef and a wine connoisseur for sure.
No,
And
Jake loves. I think that's the only reason why. Like Jake loves his wine. Like he will
Really?
he'll spend.
He's a wino?
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
he'll go around to the tables and he'll be like, "Hey guys, are you guys willing to do a wine tasting?" And he just loves to and also as you know, South Africa's got amazing
Amazing
wine.
wine.
We've been making
Amazing
wine
wine.
for what 300 years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he'll go over to all the tables and he'll give them wine
Yeah.
tasting and experiment and tell them a little bit about the wine, how they're made, and
a new element to that is that a lot of people don't realize that not all alcohol's vegan. So
Yeah.
that was a huge thing for us because
okay.
in South Africa, all of our beers and stuff are vegan, and majority of our wine, except for some maybe champagnes here and there. But it's been a whole different ball game in the USA. So Jay kind of took that under his wing type thing, and just to make sure everything's 100% vegan. So when people come to Omasol,
Wow.
I think when you go back to that, what's something that they ask you? Is it vegan?
Is it
Is it
vegan?
vegan?
Is
the
it
cheese
really vegan?
Is it really vegan?
Well, see, and I guess there's a difference you can tell between someone who is vegan asking
Yeah.
that. It's like, look, I just wanted to double check. Some places don't.
Oh,
And then
100%.
somebody who just never even
So we've got
thought
signs
of it.
everywhere saying, yes,
I've seen
it's
that.
vegan, or it's 100%
we've got the sign in the front saying,
vegan.
"Yes, folks, it's 100% vegan."
Right.
And Rich will mention to you that 98% of our climb beer start is not vegan,
No.
which is that to us is incredible, because that's why we opened Omasol. So it means that we're doing something right. The purpose is there, and just kind of go
Yeah.
with it. Because if we just had a restaurant just for vegans, we wouldn't be making a difference, because they already are vegan. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Right. You're
It's a-
spreading the message,
etc. Yeah. So
and you're doing it through community and fantastic food.
100%. And relationships, I think one huge thing, I mean, we can say it, we came here not maybe knowing a few of my brother's friends, but I think the amount of relationships and the people that you meet just on that patio, they become friends, you
Right.
know, and that's what we thrive
And I
on
have to
is
say,
relationship.
that's one thing about Charlotte is that, I mean, they are really, really some really cool people here.
Yeah.
Really friendly people.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is about Charlotte. Kind of just kind of makes you feel at home, right?
Yeah, I have a little bit of a theory about it. Just because I've been around a little bit, and I'm from North Carolina, and have for the most part lived here. But I've visited and stayed in other cities and different places for a while, and I always really really liked Charlotte, even before I moved to Charlotte. And I think that it's a mix of being a Southern American town and a transplant town. So you get this massive amount of culture that comes in and culminates, but there still is this you can easily find an area of the typical we're not too big to talk to anybody, we're not too good to talk to anybody, we want to talk to somebody and see, learn about somebody and have a conversation with someone.
That's so true. Yeah.
It's definitely, everyone wants to kind of, especially if you start it. You know what I mean? There's, if somebody starts a conversation with me, there's no way that I'm going to stop. And it's typical, it's a very Southern typical thing, the waitress at the diner calling you honey. I mean, that's a very real thing. I thought that was everywhere until I started touring when I was younger. I was like, oh, this isn't, why is she being so rude and not calling me honey?
Yeah.
But like that's a definite thing. So I think that's part of it, is because Charlotte still has its small town roots stuck in really, really, really well. And I think while still having all the trappings of being a major city, so I think it is a little bit of that is why that with being a transplant town of so many different people that aren't from here, you know. I mean, I'm sure you guys get it with all the people. I mean, you probably rarely ever meet a Charlotte native. I mean, it's probably happened.
Oh, it's very, it's
I've
very
probably
rare.
met a handful. I mean, I work a lot in the front. I've probably met a handful. A lot of South Africans come to Omar Soul, though.
Oh, I'm sure they love it. I'm sure
a
they
lot.
love it.
But although a lot of customers, which has actually been a little bit like eye-opening for us, is a lot of them don't know where South Africa is or what our flag is or the culture. That's been a new one. So, I mean, whenever we get asked that, we see it as an opportunity to, obviously chat about South Africa, what we have to offer, etc., who we are. But, a lot of people don't know anything about South Africa or, where we're from at all. So that's been interesting, because back home, it's very different. I think when we're younger, we kind of get taught kind of all the countries and where it is. It's different. It's so different.
Oh, no, there definitely is an American, and hopefully we're getting better with this. There's definitely an American, like, we're here, and then there's these other places.
Yeah.
Your worldview is a little shrunken depending on what, like, I know for me, it absolutely, growing up, like, rural North Carolina, like, we had a farm, a barn, because over half of at my high school, because over half of our classmates and stuff, they were all sons of farmers, and so, like,
Sure.
so that's what they were going to do. So it was like, there wasn't really a band,
Yeah.
or anything, but the Future Farmers of America was like 75% of the school, so, but that's what we had. That's kind of what we needed to know. So, like, a worldview kind of thing wasn't, it was there and it was taught, but it really wasn't the most important thing. So yeah,
Sure.
I do think that culturally, Americans, sometimes we do have I know I do myself, have a tough time with understanding why something else. And to me, it's always just more like, well, that's neat. So tell me more. Tell me more.
Oh yeah,
about
and
that.
it's also an
Yeah.
opportunity for us to educate people that are
Right.
interested in South Africa and what we're about and the culture and the authenticity of how it came about and how Oh My Soul came about. It's great,
Right.
and that stems, like I said, Tallulah said earlier, it stems to relationships and just people becoming friends, which is also awesome. Yeah.
Well, and something too about South Africa, like you were saying earlier, it's so focused on the meats culturally,
Yeah.
as far as your food and stuff,
Yeah, I mean, it's something we do in South Africa is we braai, and it's like a saying, gaan ons braai, and that means, over here it would be similar to a barbecue, but that is something that is family orientated. So if family were coming over, you would braai. I mean, that's what you would do. And that consists of 100% meat, maybe some garlic bread or, potato salads, etc.
Yeah,
It's a good old, everybody standing around the barbecue and
That's what it was, and
cooking
good weather.
and the ladies would then make the salad and the potato salad, and
Right.
the guys would stand there with the look as if they're cooking and stand with their beers.
you got the
and
More
one guy
drinking
standing over
then.
going,
we
well,
go.
maybe you should flip that one. I
And
don't know.
there
literally
we go.
pouring the beer over the meat like that. That's how it was. That's how
Yeah.
you are brought up from so young.
And then you go vegan, and it's like, okay,
You don't get invited to those braais.
you don't get 100%. Or would salad be okay if you guys came?
Right. And the thing is, we the type of people, we'll be like, no, don't worry, we'll just bring our own stuff. Like, we'll just fit in.
Yeah.
Other people are more sensitive. They'll be like, oh, they didn't think of me. But we the type of people,
Right.
like, they don't know better. So it's okay. We'll just bring our stuff and off we go. Or we'd invite them for braai. That's
Right.
the best part, Todd. What are they going to make us?
What are they gonna
Like,
make us?
What are we going to eat, And the thing is, we make the most incredible vegan meats. Back home,
Well,
there's
that's-
something called biltong, and that's like dried meat that's cured and herbed and spiced. You guys get jerky, but there's a big
Ours
war
is
game.
way
So
better.
ours is way better.
Well, what's the difference? What's the difference between that and jerky?
It's just a taste. I mean,
It's probably
texture
listen.
too.
I think it's done very similar.
Yeah,
And
I mean, we've
think-
tried vegan jerky.
We
Yeah, it's
have.
been good.
It actually is pretty
yeah.
good. Yeah.
But it's pretty much how they dry it. The dry boxes.
Okay.
It's self-made.
I think
at
the seasoning's a little bit different.
The seasoning's very different. I mean, back home. In America, we say cilantro. Back home, we say coriander. And that's a huge flavor. If anybody's tried our vori roll, it's a boerewors roll. That is, something that everybody loves at Oma Soul. But we dry it out and we make,
Right.
the English way to say it is dry wors, but it's through wors. And that's like a biltong. It's a cured meat. But that is like a staple in South Africa.
That's what I'm saying. Like the 40, so it's
Yeah.
a state. That's what's so fantastic is you've taken like a meat culture
Yeah.
and made it vegan, and still you're your
Yeah,
own.
because that's the only way people that are going to transition. Listen, no guy eating steaks every day and burger is going to go over and eat salads. Let's be realistic, you know.
Right.
So you got to do it in a way that it's going to be sustainable. You know, a lot of people go cold turkey and they try and go on this juice fast and salad. It's not sustainable. I mean, let's get real. You all get hungry. You all get cravings, and so do it in a way. I mean, for us,
we've got the saying.
relatable.
We've got the saying at Oh
Yeah.
My Soul. Anything that you can do, we can do vegan.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
and let me tell you, people that are transitioning into
Well, I mean,
veganism,
you guys-
or they just try it out once a
Like
week.
we
you know
won
what I
the
mean?
best burger in Charlotte.
Oh, that's what I was going to
Yeah.
say. You guys have the best burger, not vegan burger.
Yeah.
You guys don't have the best vegan burger in Charlotte. I mean,
It's
you
the
do.
best
but it's the
burger,
best
yeah.
burger in Charlotte.
And you know, when they came to obviously test it and pick it up, they had never even heard of us. And it was like, oh, you guys are vegan. Like we were laughing afterwards because we were like, did you see his
So
face?
the people who came to try the best burger in town were
Yeah.
like, what are we doing at this vegan
Yeah,
restaurant?
like,
Exactly.
really? Like, you know, it's that thing. And that's when we were like, right,
Yeah.
bring it. We're bringing our best one. And we brought the King Kong. And they were blown away about it.
Oh, absolutely.
I think a big thing also about Oma Soul is that we are, and we're very proud to say, we are vegan for the animals. A lot of people do it for other reasons. And they'll say, I'm vegan for health, or we will openly say we are vegan for the animals. So as long as I'm keeping animals off their plates and cruelty free, let's do it. Because I think that, you know, the health is like a bonus, just being vegan. Yeah, you
Right.
can be an healthy vegan, but you can be an unhealthy meat eater and live on, you know, processed foods every day.
Right.
But for us, it's about the karma attached to it, about it's, you know, the intention. And I just think in this day and age with the options out there and what we can produce, it's just unnecessary, you know. And you can't pretty much hide what's out there. I mean, I can't go onto my Facebook page without seeing something horrific, you know?
Right.
And of course, it's the groups I belong to, but I've just chosen to live a more kind of, like Richard says, conscious life where I'm aware of what's going on. And it's got to a level where it's just pure evil. And that's what drives us every day. I mean, I don't know if people realize, but, you know, us and Jay, we work like normal employees. We don't act like owners and just pop in. Like, we working there with our staff.
no, absolutely.
Because we're passionate and we want Oma Soul to grow and to get the message out there. And because we are vegan for the animals, and, you know, that's what we eat, breathe, sleep, you know. So a lot
Right.
of people think, oh, we're just doing it for our glow, you know, for health. Like, no, that's not what we do.
But what
it
can we
for.
say? We're pretty good. No, I'm joking.
Hey, no, I mean, y'all are the, you know, y'all are the best looking friends I got. You know?
Oh, we appreciate it.
Well, that's because you know, once again, the vegan thing, you have a glow. You get the vegan glow. Your skin's
That's
good.
that's what they say, right?
Like,
Yeah.
think about Lance. You met Lance, one of my managers, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
he's
Lance.
so Joburg. Like, oh my goodness. And, you know, I think when he came on board and was managing Oma Soul, I think when he was like vegan, like, you South African and you vegan? Like,
Right.
yes, but let's have a talk. Like, what's going on,
Let me
you
pull
know?
you guys to the side. What are you doing?
Yeah, and nah, I mean, he's vegan, and it just, he would tell you himself how it's just changed without him even trying, like, body and mind. So what I'm saying is, like, people, there's a saying, they'll say, you know, I'll never go vegan. Every vegan once said that.
Oh, right. No, I could completely understand that.
Yeah.
Well, and it's one of those things for me where, and I know I've said that to you guys before, where I've like, it's just something that never even crossed my mind
Yeah.
until I until I went to your restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and then like, and the food that you have is, and I mean, it is, I will get the Senorita Bonita.
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
it's good.
That I could just give me a fork. I don't even want to eat, like, just I will go to town on that thing. And I mean, it's the food that you guys make is
And the
fantastic.
beauty of it is most of the recipes, I've got like my granny's recipes and stuff, they weren't vegan. They're not vegan recipes. We've just veganized them, you know? Like
Right.
something, I don't know if you've had it on the recipe, on the menu, sorry, it's called pampoen fritters. And that's like something so traditional in South Africa that your granny makes for you. And it's like a #1 seller at Oma Soul. So I think it's just amazing how that like homey kind of culture, granny's recipes, like, I don't know, I
Right.
think it just... It influences the food, and I think that's why people love it, because of what the story behind it, what goes into it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Oh, absolutely.
There's definitely an energy. It's not just like pumping our fries, you know, type thing. There's a lot of thought that's gone into it, pretty much. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and it's so similar to, I think that's everybody can kind of relate to that, right? You
Yeah.
know, when anybody thinks about, you know, especially in the South, you know, grandma's cooking kind of
yeah.
thing. You know, that's definitely something that can tie in and everyone can get it. But yeah, I don't know. I really love the food and the amount of work and effort that you guys put into it. You can really tell. Like, you can really, really tell. It's such a welcoming, fun place to be at, to eat at, to drink at a little too much sometimes. It's always. I mean, it's fantastic. So you were talking about doing sanctuary stuff at some point.
Yeah.
I know y'all are looking at. Are y'all going to expand or anything or do anything different with the space? Because y'all have kind of had to adapt with, COVID stuff this year, and y'all have been doing great with the distancing.
How many people asked Todd, like, has COVID affected you? Our restaurant opened 10 days before COVID. We only know COVID.
You only know COVID.
We've never had a normal restaurant.
We
don't
do
know
not know
what
what
that
it's
is.
like, for the restaurant to actually run at full capacity with indoor dining and to-goes and the patio and all that. But like you said, we've adapted. We've tried our best to make sure that, we keep everybody safe.
Right.
And we've made the decision not to do dine-in because, it's not a massive space. And, we don't want to cram people in there and then, somebody gets sick or whatever the case. And I think the patio for us has been a real blessing because, we've been able to, adapt, through the summer, and through the winter. Mm-hmm. And still get, people to come to Oh My Soul and experience, great live music, great food, great cocktails and drinks and have the experience, which has been, awesome. But going back to your question with regards to expansion, that's definitely on the cards. We definitely going to expand. Do we know where yet? No, not 100%.
Right.
But, the plan is to try and get Oh My Soul to as many states in the US as possible. We want people to have that Oh My Soul vegan experience and to plant that seed and to just educate them a little bit more about veganism.
And keep the Oh My Souls looking the same. Like the look of Oh My Soul now is very, very similar to the Oh My Soul back home. So we want to kind of keep that because it's character. Do you know what I mean? That's what Oh My Soul is. It's a lot of character. So we'll definitely keep that same feeling. But the animal sanctuary, that's a dream of Oh My Soul, and that is something that we'll definitely do and try and save as many as we can and obviously just grow from there. And also, we do support different charities every month. We round off totals and we donate and match to that. So that's something that we do every month, and we try and for example, this month we're doing Carolina waterfowl and they rehabilitation. So even wildlife, that's a huge thing in South Africa, and that's something my brother's very passionate about. I mean, he does the tours and stuff. South Africa is known for its wildlife, its rhinos, and I mean, the realistic kind of thing is that maybe one day it's not going to be there with the way that things are going. And it's so sad because that's something we grew up, so excited about as kids, and we would go see rhinos and giraffes. And I mean, it's a life-changing experience. And, whenever we chat and people say where we're from, we always say to them, if you can, you have to go and experience it because it really is life-changing. So, we want to try and kind of support saving rhinos and do that also through the USA, and also kind of get a little bit of awareness going on about what's really going, because a lot of people don't realize with South Africa, it's a struggle. I mean, people think like, oh, you just moved to the USA and you open it. Like, no. It is, South Africa will always be our home, but things have changed there. And the struggle is real. It really is.
Right.
So I think a lot of people in the States don't realize what's really going on,
Right.
So we want to try and help as much as possible so that people can go on holiday and we can have tourism go and, kind of experience those amazing things that kind of make us who we are. It's our roots,
Absolutely.
So, I mean, Oh My Soul is about making change and supporting and making a difference in animal lives. That's what we're about, and we're going to do that. I mean, I think that when you kind of put out there,
and you are. I mean, you really are. You're making a massive difference.
Yeah, and I think when you kind of put that energy out there, things kind of happen and fall into place. I mean, we look at now, we often laugh in the car, and I'll be like, how did we get you? Like, like we opened this restaurant, and we'll laugh about it because mentally and emotionally, you just can't even go back to that place because so much has happened. But I think you just kind of, that's where your faith comes in, and you kind of realize, when you put it out there and you have good intention, it happens.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, it's fantastic. The restaurant's great. Congratulations on the best burger in town, and it's not even meat.
Thanks, Todd.
I love it. I can't wait to see more of it and what you guys do with it. It's fantastic. And once again, like I said, in COVID times, it meant the world to me to have a place to play. So thank you guys for having that and everything. I really appreciate it.
Well, I think that was an amazing way for us to meet you. Like, everything happens for a reason, not so.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think you're a big part of Oh My Soul, and everybody when they hear that Todd Johnson's playing, it's like, oh, we definitely coming. Honestly, that's how it is.
I think you created
really
honestly,
is.
you created a great following. People
Yeah.
because people ask every day, who's playing this weekend,
Yeah.
who's playing on Saturday, who's playing on Friday, and it's always a good time when you play.
Oh yeah. Well, I love the people that come there, and it's we can always have a fun time. Like I know that I always get excited to play there because I know everyone's going to be engaged. There's a lot of places I play where it's like you're just kind of.
You're in the background.
Yeah. Well, I make the joke, you're like a nice painting. Someone walks in the room and they look at you and go, "Oh, neat," and then they never think about it again the entire time they're there. So, but it's not that way there, and I think that's because of the culture that you guys have created. Yeah. So it's cool that I get to walk in and be a part of that. Yeah. So,
and I said, you're part of the family now. You're one of our friends. So
absolutely.
you're not just a musician anymore.
Oh no.
And we always appreciate your company and your time. And,
man.
And listen, we love the music.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. I love it. I love being a part of it.
We'll keep on sending the requests, okay?
Oh, please do. I do have to say, I don't think I'm drinking any more of the. Was it the brandy? Or was it the rum?
I think it was the brandy.
The brandy.
They call that the Richelieu. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh my gosh! In South Africa, they drink it like juice, Todd.
Yeah.
That's what you were saying. Yeah, I've said this to a few people. Being Scotch Irish or whatever, there's not many people who would drink me under the table.
But you mean a South African, right?
But
I
learned.
Yeah, exactly.
I learned. I was. Yeah.
We're getting you ready for your trip one day, Todd. You'll
that's
be
what
well
it'll be.
prepared.
Oh, I'd love to.
You'll be like quarter South African by the time you head over there.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah.
Like slowly but surely converting you. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'll go there for a little bit, and then you'll just kind of come around the corner. And I'm like, what do you do? It's like, I'm on the bungalow on the beach. I'll see you guys later. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thanks,
we
Todd.
appreciate it. Thank you so much. It
Thanks
was
for the
fun.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks guys. Appreciate it. Jay was excited about that conversation. Look at that. Look at that thumb up. Now look at camera 2. Camera 1. Camera 2. Camera 1. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure to check out Oh My Soul. Fantastic restaurant in town. And
Great restaurant, great drinks too.
Oh, their drinks are
I love
fantastic.
their drinks. Great. They have one called the Green Mamba. I highly recommend that one, man. Gin,
the Ama Glug
cucumber
Glug
stuff going on.
The Ama Glug Glug's really good. You've got to go ahead and have a friend there or an Uber ready.
Get that Uber ready.
Because their drinks are really good. Okay, let's stop talking about it. Let's go to Oh My Soul.
Let's go.
Let's do it right
Let's
now.
go.
Screw this show.